This might be my most important video ever. It might also be the most overlooked. And I think that's because a lot of people don't seem to recognize where the world is going, how it's going there, why it's going there, and a lot of other shit. But believe me, I don't know or think close to as much about these things as I'd like to. This is gonna be one of those rare videos of mine about the future and not really much else. It might not even make that much sense to a lot of people watching it, and right now I think that's okay, but at the same time I don't. Maybe I'm fucking insane. I don't fucking know. So what's the most important number in the world? Let's talk about it. The most important number in the world is 0, what I like to call the bitch number. And you could make exceptions to that, like 1 or infinity, because maybe everything is 1 or everything is infinite. But in terms of importance, even if everything is becoming 1 or everything is becoming infinite, the difference between the 0 of today and the 1 of tomorrow is no more than a theory. Is it not? Now, in case it's not obvious, I am no physicist or engineer. Well, I am a sound engineer. I'm a self-produced rapper and singer, and not Einstein. Although he and I share the same birthday, March 14th. But I also want to stress that 0 is a destination and the journey. What the fuck makes 0 so important? Well, for starters, every single endeavor is a means to reduce the friction between one thing and another. What you are reducing it to is 0. The greatest inventors, scientists, salespeople, entrepreneurs, lawyers, doctors, technicians, and all that shit have put their careers on the fast track by finding everything that stops them from achieving their goals and reducing it to the bitch number. And when you make one reduction to the bitch number, it's on to the next, and the next, and the next, and the next. There is not and will never be a last bitch number. The amount of bitch numbers is infinite. Here are a couple of examples of friction that are being reduced as we speak. By the way, when you either look to solve a problem that's already there, not there yet, or just general improvement to the way things are, the bigger the moves you make, the more of them that actually happen, the more problems you cause as a result. If you don't believe me, look at Facebook and what their beloved CEO has spent the last several years doing and focusing on, the last 2 or 3 especially. Traffic in LA is so ridiculous that Elon Musk's boring company has decided to make roads 3D. And that means either flying cars or underground tunnels. Elon Musk himself is kind of doing both because, on a side note, the Tesla Model Y will apparently hover. The Boring Company is going to have autonomous vehicles on the tracks that will carry, I think, 16 passengers at speeds up to 600 miles per hour. Revving up the speed of things so we can reduce the difference between point A and point B to the bitch number. It's important because that's what we want. But it's also important because from where we are to that point of reduction, we are currently at 0. What number do we want to get to? I guess that's 1, which is also the destination, or I suppose infinity. If humankind weren't so adamant about convenience and simplicity, the evolution of technology, and other wonderful bitch number reductions that have drastically changed the course of its own history, who would bother doing these things, let alone raise the capital needed to afford them? And how would they do it? And why would they do it? As a matter of fact or theory, why do they do it? Please feel free to pause the video and let me know what you think in the comments, because I really fucking don't know. All of this, for all we know, may be mere theory. But for Amazon to have a one-click feature where you literally only click once, and it immediately begins your order because it knows your card number, it knows your address, and all that other shit, that's one thing. But now they have stores where you can walk in and walk out with the items in your hand because your card will be charged as you exit the store. Minimize the friction, how hard it is, how long it takes, every single thing that costs the company and the customer both, let alone one of the two: time, money, energy, sleep, anything we need to survive nowadays, and just minimizing it to the absolute bitch number. That's what this is. This all requires none other than the vicious waves of disruption crashing on the shores of the new global society, the brutal suffocation of medium-sized corporations that help the general public to form the fabric of what we now consider the old way of doing things, the hash slinging, no, I'm just kidding, the loud and proud destruction of the framework and merits of the industrial age from both the bottom up and inside out, the crack slinging. This is the distribution of the future we're talking about. And if you pay close attention, you will catch glimpses of it around you, spreading across the world every day. Slowly but surely, subtly but greatly, and with increasingly unpredictable changes in the verticals and horizontals of its momentum, we are about to touch something that can never be untouched. We are about to turn everything into 0. And this will perhaps go on until infinity itself becomes 0. If you have any questions, please feel free to hit me up. There are links at the bottom of the description to all my social media. Also at the bottom of the description there are links to my new production kits where you can find all the hardware and software that I use to make music and these videos. If you buy any, I get commission, which helps me build this channel and keep making these videos for you guys. If you guys want to know anything more about what I think about this, I made an entire project about it. It's called Numbers. I have 4 other insight videos where I talk about each song. There are only 4 songs. And feel free to check those out. Feel free to check the project out. If you want to know a little bit more about the project, because some of my lyrics are a little, I don't know, sometimes I listen to them and I'm like, what the fuck am I talking about here? I'll drop a link to that in the description, and it might actually be somewhere around my face right now. But hey, in case you don't do that, make sure to leave a like if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already. If you could turn on that little bell to receive a notification every time I drop a new video, that would mean the world to me. Thank you guys so much for watching. You can find me everywhere, and I will see you then.